This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome. Episode 637. I'm Catherine Inskip, your editor and host. Our story for today is Calling on Behalf of the Dark Lord by Catherine George, which was first published in Translunar Traveller's Lounge in February 2020. Catherine George lives on Vancouver Island with her partner and 3 children. In 2018, she returned to writing after 10 years away and now writes short speculative fiction of all types. An up-to-date bibliography can be found at cgfiction.com. Her work has previously appeared in Clarkesworld, Auger Magazine and Flash Fiction Online, among others. She can be found on Blue Sky as @catgee, that's CATGEE.bsky.social. This story is narrated by Caitlin Zivanovich. Caitlin is a former Marine Corps intelligence officer and current speculative fiction writer. She is a graduate of the Viable Paradise Workshop and writes short stories to avoid editing her novel. Currently living in Poland with her husband and 4 loud children, you can find her on social media at kzivanovich and on her website. And now, just ahead of International Workers' Day, we've a tale to tell.
Calling on Behalf of the Dark Lord by Catherine George, narrated by Caitlin Zivanovich. It's only part-time. You can always quit if you don't like it. That's what you told yourself when you were hired, and that's what you tell your friends, too, when you meet down at the pub to buy them all drinks for once, because apparently the Dark Lord pays on time and by direct deposit, which honestly is more than you can say for your last couple jobs. It's not that bad, really, you say, grabbing another lukewarm potato skin. It's inside. That matters to you, ever since the winter you almost got frostbite in your fingers selling hot chocolate to ice skaters on the canal. The chairs are comfy, and it pays more than minimum. Plus, there's a bonus each month for the person who signs up the most followers. I couldn't do it, Anna says with an exaggerated shudder. Like, what if he drops in? Easy for her to say. She's got a cushy job as a docent at the National Gallery. Who could have predicted that a degree in art history would have done you better than one in English Lit, seriously? Plus, her partner's in accounting with the government. It's better than retail, you mutter, stung. And it is, really. It's better than selling designer knockoffs at the mall, or records in the cramped vinyl shop on Bank. Better than bartending at weddings, or working the night shift at the sketchy 24-hour diner. No, it's not your dream job, but those are a myth anyway. And it's not like the Dark Lord himself is ever going to drop by an office building in an industrial park out east of the Rideau, right? He's definitely got better things to do than check up on his telemarketers. Like, can you even imagine? Does Anna think he's going to come in and scorch the dropped ceiling with the heat of his perpetual flame? Or inspect the new wireless headsets with his single glowing crimson eye? This is a limited time opportunity, you say on the phone. Once the Dark Lord takes power, only his followers will be spared his wrath. Plus, sign up now and I can send you the Dark Lord's self-affixing tattoo. It glows with the fire of 1,000 tortured souls. Yeah, it's kind of sparkly. Awesome! I think you're making a great decision. Sometimes you and Nav, the cheerful jock who sits across the aisle from you, chat in the break room about what it would be like to meet the Dark Lord. You think you could shake his hand? Nav asks. Or would you just, pass out? The manual says people tremble in fear when he enters the room and fall to their knees if he favors them with a glance. You shrug. Yeah, but that's just sales talk, right? Still, I'd be nervous. Nav seems to buy into the crap you're peddling a bit more than necessary. It's not like you have to sign up as a follower in order to work here. Still, you can't argue with her conversion rate. She's earned the bonus 3 times in a year. Something about the way she says, I can tell from our conversation that you'd make a great follower, really seems to resonate with bored housewives. How'd you get into this? You ask her. Tore my ACL and lost my college softball scholarship, she says. I needed to do something right. This pays the bills, and in the summer, we've got a ball team. We're called the Dark Bench. What about you? You've always believed you were too creative, too clever for the dead-end jobs you've fallen into, that there was some higher calling out there you just hadn't discovered yet. But, as your mother is fond of reminding you on your monthly call, that plus a cappuccino won't buy you a career. It's a tough job market for someone whose skill set is limited to daydreaming and day drinking. I saw an ad for it online, you say, after a moment. So yeah, the job's not too shabby. Once you get used to the slightly sinister hum of the fluorescent lights and get a handle on the patter, it's actually kind of fun. You enjoy coming up with ways to improve your numbers, to get the Dark Lord a few extra followers each month. Sign up today and it's obligation-free for a year. You get all the benefits of following the Dark Lord, but you don't have to show up for the March of Glorious Evil or do your bit in the Dark Army until next winter. Hi, yeah, calling on behalf of the Dark Lord. Seriously, there's no one better at raising the nameless dread in the hearts of his enemies. Plus, the robes are really flattering. So can I put you down for Dark Chance on Sunday? The only problem with the job is that some of the Dark Lord's plans aren't such an easy sell. You ever get anybody who's enthusiastic about the Dome of Perpetual Darkness? You ask Nav one night, when you're both shivering in the snow waiting for the 61 back into town, the cold slowly seeping up through your souls. People keep hanging up when you mention the dome spreading over the land once the Dark Lord's got enough followers to ascend to power. You've stopped talking about the vast expanses of the frozen wasteland entirely, at least while the weather forecast for Ottawa seems set to, well, frozen wasteland. Not really, she says. Lately I've been pushing the eternal torment of the unbelievers. It works pretty well with the ones that are susceptible to fear. Yeah, I guess. I just feel like I sell better with the carrot, not the stick. Maybe it's one too many calls where someone says, "What would I do with an endless river of ice?" Or hangs up when you mention the deathless howl of the spectral hounds. Or maybe it's your mounting credit card debt. You could really use the bonus. Either way, one day, you stray a bit off script. Would you say you're satisfied with your current worship plan? Oh, really? Well, let me tell you about the dome of mild twilight and the desert of dry heat. And I've been authorized to throw in an extra 3-day weekend every month just for you. Nav tips up her headset mic. Did I miss an update to the manual? You just grin and mark down another new follower in your spreadsheet. You toss the Dark Army in favor of mandatory dark brunches with mimosas the color of wildfire and eggs bennies sprinkled with black hole dust. You promise some of them long nights so they can sleep off the hangover from dark karaoke. The March of Glorious Evil is gone. Once summer comes around, you figure you'll replace it with the barbecue over malevolent coals. Nobody likes the plague of nameless terrors. It's too abstract. People can't picture it. So you sub in the unceasing scourge of government bureaucracy. People find the familiar appealing, you've realized. Your numbers go up and up. The bonus covers your overdraft, and if this keeps up, you might finally be able to pay off your student loans. Even your mom seems impressed. At least she's finally stopped mentioning your high school boyfriend, the one who became an orthodontist, and suggesting that you give him a call and catch up sometime. Come to think of it, though, maybe you should call him. He'd make a good follower. One night, while you're out eating shawarma in the market with your friends, Anna gives you a weird glare and shifts away from you. Are you sick or something? You're like oozing heat. I'm fine, you say, because you feel great. You've just been thinking about that feeling you get when you connect with someone on the phone, that buzzing intuition about what's going to work for a prospective follower. The little thing that will tip them over into understanding the lure of the dark. Hey, are you still at that weird call center job? I thought you'd be bored of it by now, like everything else you try. Anna laughs and immediately leaps to number 1 on the list of people you'd like to subject to the smiting of the enemies. You're particularly proud of that one. It curses a follower's nemesis with perpetually bad haircuts, inconvenient traffic jams, and slow Wi-Fi. Just thinking about it gives you a tingly, tyrannous thrill. Anna frowns at you. Did you know your eyes are glowing? The next day, you hear Nav on a call, talking up the dark parkas. So much more practical than robes, honestly. When you give her a thumbs up, it almost looked like she bows to you, but that can't be right. Then on your next call, the woman who picks up cuts you off in the middle of your spiel. Don't try to sell me on that low-rent Dark Lord stuff. I know better. Her voice drops to a whisper. I'll sign up, but I want to follow the Dark Lady. The Dark Lady? You say, confused. Yeah, she says, you know, with the brunches, the dry heat, the smiting. Let me tell you, I've got a few folks who could use a smiting, starting with Lisa next door. You push your headset off and stare around the call center, at the 20 faces glowing blue in the light of their screens, all of them extolling the praises of the Dark Lady, ratcheting up the follower count with each call, ratcheting up your follower count. When you stand, they all bow their heads to you and murmur, Dark Lady. Well, it looks like this might just turn into something more than a part-time job after all.
After my first year at university, I spent a summer working as a temp on various office jobs, including a 6-week stint in the business faults department for British Telecom. 154 was not quite as high intensity as 151, or heaven forbid directory inquiries, and it got me over my social phobia of speaking to strangers on the phone. One other thing it had in its favour is that the customers were calling us, and not the other way around. I know I don't have the mindset for a sales job, certainly not 9 to 5, but I very much enjoyed this story as a snapshot of the horrors of corporate drudgery and telemarketing. I think what appeals to me most is how it shows that there is always room for creativity, and that what comes of taking chances will often surprise you. Don't settle for second best. Be your own Dark Lady and make your workplace fulfilling. Join us again soon. We love bringing you the best audio fiction week after week, but we can't do it without your support. Your donations pay our authors, our narrators, our servers and our staff. Please consider supporting us with a monthly donation through either PayPal or Patreon. You can also review us on Apple Podcasts, request us on Spotify, and consider the stories we publish for award consideration. There are lots of ways you can help. You can join the discussion on the EA Discord and visit us on Blue Sky at castofwonders.org. Come say hello. Cast of Wonders is brought to you by editor Catherine Inskip, assistant editor Alicia Caparaso, associate editors Rebecca Arn, Tanya Adelit, Amy Brennan, Kapia Cobb, Becca Miles, Ray O, Samuel Poots, Emma Smales, Denise Sudell and Rin Yi. Our editorial assistant is Amy Brennan and our audio producer is Jeremy Carter. Cast of Wonders is part of the Escape Artists Foundation, a 501c3 non-profit, and this episode is distributed under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International License. That means you can download or listen to the episode on any device you like, but you can't change it or sell it. Our theme music is Appeal to Heavens by Alexei Nov, available from Promo DJ or his Facebook page. Thank you for listening.